All right, Salawam Makim. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching His word on true faith and sincerity. And today I just want to get into a lesson, going into continue, the downfall of E is becoming clearer and clearer. See, this man ain't gonna baby be nursed back to health. There's not a bill you can sign. Nothing is going to prevent the downfall of the so-called white man. It's actually intensifying as we get closer and closer to the perfect day. We're seeing it. World War III is the fate of this devil. And of course, the enemies such as Russia, China, North Korea, but even the allies is going to contribute to the destruction of America. Because now they see the results of dealing with the horror, Because the niggas, they got paid. Niggas getting bread, but it's something always on the back end dealing with this bitch. And pretty much all these nations dealt with Babylon is getting burnt now, man. They're getting that itch. And eventually they're going to turn on her. And it's beginning now. So this is from the New York Post, and it reads, Trump halted Project Freedom, Hormuz plan after Saudi Arabia cut off airbase access. Report. So this nigga, Trump, with this Project Freedom, like this nigga gonna come up with a game plan, to guide ships in and out throughout the Strait of Hormuz, and them niggas got rocked. But now, this is a further setback. They ain't able to use their airspace to go and drop bombs or send aid or whatever the case may be. It's restricted now. And I believe a few months back, Spain restricted their airspace. And it's all because E and these tiny hats, man. Babylon the Great and the tiny hats. So that spiraling down the drain, see that word, that swirl is getting faster and faster. This man's downfall is becoming more and more clear that America is not going to bounce back from this. The so-called white man is not going to bounce back. This man is at his very end. I'll read a little bit as it reads. Trump suspended a plan that had the military escort commercial ships through the Strait of Hormuz after Saudi Arabian officials have warned Riyadh would not allow the U.S. to use its airspace or air bases to support the initiative. Riyadh, Salah. Them niggas be having WWE events and shit. You can tell they Americanized. They have drunken up the cup of the whore. But now say they getting the back end of it now. The promised defense and all this. Yet Iran strike back. They hitting these certain strategic spots, man, and making these allies look at America like, damn, fuck you doing, man. Even they pull certain missile defense systems out of South Korea and shit, and everybody looking at this nigga crazy, man. So you had these nations to take out the cup, and they benefited and had certain riches, but now this the back end of it, that hangover, It says Project Freedom, which the president announced Sunday evening, was paused Tuesday following pushback from the Gulf nation, as well as a phone conversation between Trump and the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. That did not resolve the issue. And it's only going to get, the report is only going to get worse, concerning this man and his downfall, man. And this great war that's about to come about in the globe, which is World War III. Before that, this digital system, the mark of the beast, the chip, is going to be mandated, which everything's coming together. This nigga trying to crash the dollar, to get rid of cash, the push for digital currency. And this is all the indicator this man is at his end. This is I started Revelation 18. I started verse 1 and reason. After these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighting with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. And that's ultimately going into the results. That's going into pretty much when the smoke clear and the dust settle, the wrath of the Lord is going to be on display when World War III happens. And America's going to be on fire for a very long time. But out there, it's actually going to be a desert where nothing but desert creatures, unclean beasts dwell, man. To show you that this place will never be rebuilt. You ain't going to be able to build anything. It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of wrath or fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. So yeah, that's why they were with this bitch. Because of these certain resources they was able to get, and certain riches. These motherfuckers talking about the jobs and employment, low unemployment rate. Well, them niggas, all them niggas in China, they the one that got rich. India, these certain nations. But they had to drink of that wine. That's why you said these motherfuckers, they all westernized and shit. Or just going back to Saudi Arabia, the niggas got the WWE. Niggas was planning on having fucking WrestleMania, man. But when this shit popped off with Iran, it was like, it's gonna be a little too close. We might have to push it back now. So they fucking up their money. Them niggas don't want no parts of it, man. But at the end of the day, these nations gonna realize what's gonna benefit them all is America being destroyed. But this is what we at in this process. This man and his allies is eventually going to turn on. And you see the resistance. You have Trump, this nigga would threaten to leave NATO. And then all these talks of, the tiny hats going at Turkey because of that, the Greater Israel Project. Because that land that's on the map, that's just a portion of them niggas really trying to get the actual borders, man. Turkey's in part of it, Lebanon, and Saudi Arabia. But them niggas really trying to do that. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. It reads, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Yeah, because look what the bitch is doing, man. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. How that's going to unfold when they unload those nuclear missiles. That's how that's going to take place. It says, for the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. See? So it's a build up to this destruction. And the Lord allowed, these nations to come under them and had this devil to be propped up, and they was able to get riches, benefit from the alliance with E. But now we're in a time where the words of the Lord is being fulfilled. Now it's time to turn on the bitch. Get her. And this that indicated that, this man is about to go down. Enemies looking at him crazy. The people, you got the protests, you got even with the maggots, the maggers. Them niggas hate each other now. And the big wedge, especially on those, the Republican parties, those tiny hats, man. But yeah, that's the secret ingredient to them niggas' destruction, man. Book of 2 chapter 9, verse 1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that this is the very same time wherein the heights will begin to visit the world which he made. And that world is really concerning the world of Edom. That's what it was all built to this moment that we in now. And the statue of that, it really climaxed once it toes, man, the end. That's when that stone came, which is our Lord Yahushua. So of course you having the scripture going to the history and certain things that were recorded. But even in that, it was a foreshadowing. It was hitting to this point in time that we in now. The scripture talk about the things that were written aforetime, ran fire learning. Show you that those scenarios, situations are going to play out again on a bigger scale. Why the scripture talk about that spiritual Sodom of Egypt? That came back through America. We got the policies and the ideology, the things that is accepted and rejected. It all plays out here. And them niggas took it a step forward. Them ancient Sodomite might be uncomfortable around the modern day Edomite, man. Cause them niggas went there, Oh, that's why scripture talk about that. It was an example. A sample it pales in comparison to a full meal. You get a sample, you might get on a toothpick. You just tasting it. Well, this is a whole platter of wickedness, man. It said, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and that's what we're saying, the earthquakes is the earth-shaking events. Oh, most recently you had the Crown Vic, but now there's another report of the hantavirus. And that supposed to be the pandemic. First reports were from a cruise ship. Then it's 3 states was monitoring. Then reports that people in the land of the tiny hats got it. So them lockdowns about to come forth, and that's what's going to bring forth these people, the uproars, these protests. Niggas protesting not it's going to be a point. They're going to be protesting not be drafted to die for the tiny hats. You have other people, uproars of the living situation, the kings of the earth and the powers that be and how they run shit. It's causing these people to lose it. But this is all the indicator that this man is going down. The symptoms to the downfall of an empire. It says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that are before thee, even from the beginning. See? So it's becoming clearer and clearer that this devil is and don't have left, man. You know, like a terminal illness. Once they at that last stage, if a nigga got stage 4 fucking pancreatic cancer, you think he planning on to go on a vacation next year? Then he got so much. No, this motherfucker trying to live, and it's to the point now where, you know, he finna die. You was just preparing the casket. You getting a plot to bury this motherfucker. You know. It says, for all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifested. That was one example I mentioned. A person with stage 4 cancer. Well, guess what? That could also apply to an empire as well. Esau ain't gonna be able to come back. You think them niggas gonna be able to talk them Carmanians down now? Them niggas shake hands after all this. No, man. So the end is manifest. Things becoming clear and clear. This door is about to be overthrown. So yeah, I hope this was edifying. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. It's His word, in all true faith and sincerity. Shalom.